Welcome back, students. In this video, we are going to extend our discussion from the last video where we found exact values of sin x, cos x, and tan x. But now we are going to solve trigonometric equations. So I'll tell you exactly the steps you need to do, and then just follow the exact same process, and you will never have a problem in solving trigonometric equations. For example, let's do it with an example, how you should approach the problem. Let's talk about sine x equals to half. Now, there are few things to consider here. One is, what is the range? Because it can be infinity, because you can just keep going on around the circles and you'll keep getting the numbers. So the range is important, which is given as 0 to 2 pi. In other words, it's 0 to 360. So we are just going around the circle once. So step 1, which is you must see what is the range. And then you need to realize what is the basic acute angle. It's called basic acute angle. So don't worry about the signs here. No worries about the sign. Just take the number. It's sine x equals to half. So when is sine x half? You ask yourself that question. So the way to find that is sine inverse zero point 0.5, or you already know from your memory that sine 30 degree is half. So your x must be 30 degrees. So see, this is where if you memorized it, it comes in handy. You can straight away pick it up. But if you didn't memorize it, it's going to take a bit of time. But remember, the sign is not a problem. Whether it's a positive or a negative, that's a separate story. We'll learn about it later. We'll just find the basic acute angle. And then you look at sine. So what's the sign? Positive. So sine x is between 0 to 360 degree, but it must give you half. So what does that mean? You look at this quadrant picture you have seen before. So all stations to central. So if you look at this, where is sine positive? Sine is positive here, sine is positive there. So in other words, sine is positive here, and there can be another angle which is sine is positive there. So you literally solve the problem. So what should the answers be? X should be 30 degree or 180 minus 30. 180 minus 30. So that's why this basic acute angle is important. So you have to go 180 and come back 30 in order to be in the second quadrant. Now, our range is up to 360. Can we go beyond? We can, but there is nothing positive, nothing positive, nothing positive, and there is something positive here. So we could go 360 plus 30, sine would be still positive, but that would be beyond our range. So we ignore that. So our result is 30 degree and 150 degree. And now if you double check using your calculator, if you put it in, you will see uh, sine 30 is half, sine 150 is also half. Now let's take the same example, and exactly the same example, but instead of sine x equals to half, we say minus half. And x is still from 0 to 360 degree. Now what's that? Still our x is 30, basic acute angle is still 30, but sine is negative. So you ask yourself, where is sine negative? Is sine negative here? No. Is sine negative here? No. Sine is negative here and here. So therefore, your angles are 180 plus 30, and the next one is 360 minus 30. So in other words, your theta is 180 plus 30, which is gives you to the third quadrant, which is sign is negative, and the other one is 360 minus 30. So we have 210, and then we have 330. If you put it into the calculator, you will see sign becomes negative. Now, if this was, you know, 720 or 1080 or whatever, you need to keep going and see how many times you can get those numbers until you go beyond the range. You cannot stop. So you keep finding it out as many times as you need. For example, if we're looking for sign positive, but we are looking for, let's say, 720 degrees. So your x is 0 to 720. What should you do? So if you go once, it becomes 360. If you go twice, it becomes 720. So how many times we can have results? We can have sign positive here, and then sign positive here, and sign positive there. In other words, what we can have is sine theta. We can have sine 180 minus theta. We can have sine 360 plus theta. So 360 plus theta. And then we can have sine 360 and then up to here. So how much is that? 360 plus 180, which is 540. And then back here. So we can have sine 540 minus theta, which is 30. So these are the four different places sine could be positive in that range. So the important part is to understand the range and then look at the sign, and first of all find the basic acute angle, and then find out the rest of the solutions depending on the range and the sign of sine, cos, or tan. So that's all from me in terms of solving trigonometric equations. You should go ahead and solve them, and then once you are done with this, what you can do is click on the link on your Moodle page, and this will take you to this page. You can read more about it. You can see work examples. You can solve it, and you can watch a video, and then the video will tell you in details how they're solving it. You can try multiple problems, and once you're pretty comfortable, you can come back here and click on the questions. This will take you to a lot of questions that you can practice from, easy to medium and difficult questions. And then once you're pretty confident, you can head to the next concept for this week. That's all from me for this particular topic. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.